Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine a rare jewel. Not because it shines the brightest or is the most ornate, but because of its unassuming, unpolished truth. The rarest woman in the world is much like this jewel, not rare for what she adds, but for what she has dared to let go. She is the woman who has stepped off the stage of approval, leaving behind the applause of conformity. Her value is not measured in achievements, but in her courage to live authentically. In a world that screams for attention, she speaks in whispers, and yet her presence resounds. What makes her rare? It is not beauty, though she is beautiful. It is not perfection, for she has embraced her imperfections as part of her wholeness. Her rarity lies in her quiet power and unwavering commitment to being herself unapologetically and entirely. When she smiles, it is not a mask, it is a window. When she loves, it is not a transaction, it is a gift. When she listens, it is not for her turn to speak, but to hear the world in its raw truth. The rarest woman in the world does not seek to be understood by all, she seeks to understand herself. And in doing so, she offers a silent invitation to come closer, to be real, to be rare in your own way. She teaches us a profound lesson that true rarity is not found in striving to be extraordinary, but in the simple, courageous act of being wholly and fully oneself. Imagine a light that does not blind but illuminates gently, revealing the essence of everything it touches. Such is the presence of the rarest woman in the world, a being whose existence is a testament to the profound power of simply being. She is not defined by the role she plays, the title she holds, or the expectations imposed upon her. Instead, she is defined by her ability to be entirely present in the moment, to inhabit the space she occupies with authenticity, and to embrace life as it unfolds. Her presence is transformative. When she walks into a room, she does not command attention in the loud or forceful ways the world often celebrates. Instead, her quiet energy invites others to pause, to breathe, and to notice the beauty of now. She has an aura of stillness that reminds you of a deep forest, clearing, calm, grounding, and alive. In her company, time seems to slow, as if the universe itself conspires to match her unhurried rhythm. What makes her rare is not her outward qualities, but the depth of her inward connection. She understands that life is not a race to be won or a puzzle to be solved, but a dance to be experienced. She is fully here, not chasing the next milestone or living in the shadow of the past. She meets each moment as it is, without resistance or judgment, and in doing so she inspires others to do the same. The rarest woman's presence is a reflection of her self-awareness. She has walked the path of self-discovery, navigating its twists and turns with courage and curiosity. Through this journey, she has uncovered a truth that many overlook, that the greatest gift she can offer the world is her undivided attention. Whether she is listening to a friend, admiring a sunset, or simply sitting in stillness, she gives herself fully to the experience. This is the source of her power, a quiet yet unshakable connection to the present moment. Her presence also carries with it a profound sense of acceptance. She does not try to fix or change the people around her, she simply allows them to be. In a world that is often loud with opinions and heavy with judgment, this acceptance feels like a breath of fresh air. It creates a space where others can let down their walls and rediscover their own authenticity. In her presence, you feel seen, not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are. The rarest woman in the world does not seek recognition or validation. She does not strive to be extraordinary, yet she is unforgettable. Her rarity lies in her simplicity, in her ability to live fully in the now, and in the light she brings to every moment. Through her presence, she reminds us that we too can find beauty, depth, and meaning not in the grand gestures, but in the quiet, illuminated moments of being alive. Life often teaches us to think in absolutes, light or dark, strong or weak, independent or connected. Yet the rarest woman in the world lives not in these binaries, but in the space between them. She moves effortlessly through the dance of paradox, weaving together seemingly opposing forces to create a life that is both rich and rare. To see her is to witness strength without hardness, a quiet yet undeniable force that commands respect without demanding it. She understands that true strength is not about domination or resistance, but about resilience and grace. She stands firm when the winds of life blow fiercely, yet she bends like a willow knowing that rigidity breaks where flexibility endures. This balance makes her a paradox, fiercely independent yet deeply connected, unyielding in her principles yet open to change. Her independence does not isolate her, rather, it enhances her ability to connect deeply with others. She does not seek relationships out of need or fear of solitude, but approaches them as a sharing of fullness. When she loves, she does so freely, not as a transaction, but as an offering of her truest self. This interplay of autonomy and intimacy creates a rare harmony, as she shows that one can be whole alone and even more radiant together. She is both a dreamer and a realist, capable of holding visions of what could be, while remaining grounded in what is. Her dreams inspire, but her realism keeps her anchored. In her presence, the impossible feels within reach, not because she ignores reality, but because she sees potential within it. She reminds us that the line between idealism and practicality is not a divide but a bridge, and she walks it with purpose and poise. Even her emotional world is a dance of paradox. She is unafraid to feel deeply, embracing vulnerability as a source of strength. Her tears are not a sign of weakness, but a testament to her courage to remain open. At the same time, she carries a quiet steadiness, a calm that comes from knowing herself and trusting life's unfolding. She does not suppress her emotions, nor does she let them control her. Instead, she allows them to flow, knowing that each has its time and place. In the way she navigates life, she embodies the paradox of simplicity and complexity. On the surface, she may seem unassuming, even ordinary, but to know her is to discover layers of depth, wisdom, and intricacy. Her life is not cluttered with excess. She has shed what does not serve her, leaving only what is essential. Yet within this simplicity lies a complexity of thought, a richness of spirit, and an understanding of life's profound mysteries. The rarest woman in the world teaches us that life's greatest truths are not found in choosing one side of the paradox, but in embracing both. She dances effortlessly in this space, showing us that it is not about resolving contradictions, but about living fully within them. In her, we see the beauty of life's dualities, a harmony that inspires us to find our own rhythm in the dance of paradox. The rarest woman in the world carries a power that is neither loud nor imposing. It is a quiet force, one that does not seek to dominate but to inspire. Her power lies in her authenticity, a quality so rare in a world saturated with pretense that it shines like a beacon. She does not strive to be extraordinary, and yet in her genuine embrace of who she is, she becomes unforgettable. Authenticity is not something she performs, it is the essence of how she lives. She is not bound by the expectations or labels imposed by others, nor does she seek approval from the world. Her sense of self is rooted deeply within, cultivated through self-awareness and a commitment to living her truth. This makes her presence both grounding and liberating. She invites those around her to shed their own masks, not through words, but through the example of her being. The rarest woman in the world does not conform to the pressure to be what society deems enough. She does not measure her worth by her achievements, appearance, or possessions. Instead, her value radiates from her ability to stand firm in her own skin, unshaken by the shifting tides of opinion. This does not mean she is immune to doubt or fear. She feels these as any human would, but she does not allow them to dictate her actions. Instead, she embraces them as part of her journey, knowing that growth often comes from facing discomfort. Her authenticity is not just about being honest with the world, it is about being honest with herself. She has taken the time to explore her inner landscape, to confront her shadows, and to celebrate her light. This self-awareness allows her to act with integrity, aligning her words and actions with her true values. It is this alignment that gives her power, a power that needs no declaration, because it speaks for itself. There is a profound freedom in her authenticity, one that liberates her from the exhausting need to pretend. She does not feel the need to be perfect, for she understands that her imperfections are what make her human. By embracing her flaws, she transforms them into strengths, turning vulnerability into courage and mistakes into lessons. In doing so, she shows others that they too can find beauty and strength in their imperfections. Her quiet power lies in the way she connects. When she listens, she does so fully, without distraction or pretense. When she speaks, her words carry weight because they come from a place of truth. People feel seen and heard in her presence, not because she tries to impress them, but because she meets them as they are, with no agenda other than to connect. The rarest woman in the world does not seek to stand out, but to stand true. In her authenticity, she offers a reminder that the most extraordinary power is found in the simplest act of being oneself. Her life is a testament to the quiet revolution of living authentically in a world that often demands otherwise. In a world that often celebrates complexity, the rarest woman in the world finds her power in simplicity. She lives not by accumulating, but by distilling, paring life down to what is essential, meaningful, and true. Her simplicity is not born of lack, but of clarity. It is the deliberate choice to focus on what matters most and to let go of the unnecessary noise that so often clutters the mind and spirit. She is not distracted by the endless pursuit of more. Where others might chase after material possessions, status, or recognition, she finds contentment in the quiet richness of the present moment. She understands that life's deepest joys are often found not in grand gestures or elaborate plans, but in the unassuming beauty of everyday experiences: a sunrise, a shared smile, or the stillness of a quiet evening. This perspective allows her to move through life with grace, unburdened by the weight of excess or the constant striving for what lies beyond her reach. The rarest woman in the world knows that simplicity is not about deprivation or austerity. It is not about denying oneself the pleasures of life, but about savoring them more deeply. By focusing her energy and attention on what truly brings her joy and fulfillment, she elevates the ordinary into the extraordinary. A single flower in a vase, a heartfelt conversation, or a moment of silence becomes, in her presence, something profound. She transforms these simple acts into a celebration of life itself. Her simplicity extends beyond her surroundings and into her way of being. She is unpretentious, grounded, and unencumbered by the need to impress or conform. There is a refreshing honesty in the way she carries herself, a sense of ease that draws others to her. She does not complicate her relationships with pretense or manipulation. Instead, she approaches them with openness and sincerity. In her company, people feel at home, not because she tries to be extraordinary, but because she is simply herself. Simplicity for her is also an act of courage. It requires the strength to say no to the unnecessary and the wisdom to discern what truly adds value to her life. She resists the pull of consumerism, the allure of trends, and the pressure to constantly do more. This resistance is not born of rebellion, but of a deep understanding that life is finite and precious. She chooses to spend her energy and time on what aligns with her values, knowing that in simplicity lies freedom. Her life becomes a quiet reminder that complexity is not a measure of depth, and that simplicity does not mean shallowness. Rather, it is in simplicity that the most profound truths often reveal themselves. The rarest woman in the world shows us that beauty lies not in what is added, but in what is uncovered when we strip away the unnecessary. Through her simplicity, she invites us to slow down, to see clearly, and to find meaning in the things that truly matter. The rarest woman in the world holds a power that many overlook, yet it is one that shapes everything around her: the power of silence. In a world filled with noise, where constant communication is mistaken for connection and endless chatter for understanding, she embraces the quiet. Hers is not the silence of withdrawal or avoidance, but a sacred stillness that speaks volumes. She is the keeper of sacred silence, and through it she teaches a profound truth: that silence, when honored, can reveal what words often obscure. Her silence is not empty, it is alive. Within it lies reflection, presence, and a deep sense of listening, not just to others, but to life itself. She does not rush to fill the spaces between conversations with words. Instead, she holds space, allowing those moments to breathe and expand. In her presence, silence does not feel uncomfortable or heavy, it feels full, inviting, and even healing. She shows that silence is not an absence, but a presence, a space where truth can surface without force. The rarest woman in the world listens differently. When she listens, she does not merely hear words, she tunes into the emotions, pauses, and unspoken meanings behind them. She has learned that true listening begins not with the ears, but with the heart. Her silence allows her to connect with others on a deeper level, creating an unspoken understanding that transcends language. In her quiet presence, people often find themselves opening up, not because she demands it, but because her stillness creates a safe and sacred space. Her relationship with silence extends to how she engages with herself. She understands the value of sitting alone, undistracted with her thoughts and emotions. In the solitude of silence, she explores her inner world without judgment or resistance. She does not shy away from the stillness that others often find unsettling. She embraces it as a place of renewal and clarity. It is in these quiet moments that she discovers her strength, her direction, and her deepest truths. This sacred silence also gives her an aura of wisdom. She does not feel the need to fill every moment with opinions or assert her voice to be heard. When she does speak, her words carry weight because they arise not from impulsivity but from careful thought. Her silence teaches her when to speak and when to remain still, when to offer guidance and when to let others find their own way. The rarest woman in the world recognizes that silence is not a void to be feared, but a sanctuary to be cherished. In her keeping of sacred silence, she reminds us that it is often in the quiet that we hear the most important things. Through her stillness, she invites us to pause, to reflect, and to connect with ourselves and the world in ways we might otherwise overlook. Her silence is not only her strength, it is her gift to a world that desperately needs it. The rarest woman in the world possesses a gift that transcends the ordinary, a remarkable ability to weave connections that touch the soul and transform the heart. She does not seek connection for personal gain or recognition, but as a natural expression of her being. To encounter her is to feel seen, understood, and valued in a way that is profoundly rare. She is the weaver of connection, bringing people, ideas, and hearts together in a way that creates something greater than the sum of its parts. Her connections are not superficial. They are built on authenticity and presence, crafted with care and intentionality. She understands that true connection begins with listening not just to words, but to the unspoken feelings and stories that lie beneath them. When she listens, she does so with her whole being, offering her attention fully and without distraction. Her ability to hold space for others creates an environment where they feel safe to be themselves, unguarded and real. In her presence, people are reminded of their own worth, not because she tells them, but because she shows them through her unwavering attention and acceptance. This rare woman recognizes the beauty of diversity and the strength found in unity. She sees the unique threads each person carries and honors them without judgment. Through her presence, she gently encourages others to do the same. She has a way of bridging gaps, whether between individuals, cultures, or perspectives, weaving understanding where there was once division. Her connections are not forced or transactional, they arise naturally, as if guided by an intuitive sense of what the world needs. Her connection to others is rooted in her deep connection to herself. She has taken the time to understand her own strengths, weaknesses, and values, and this self-awareness allows her to engage with others from a place of authenticity. She does not try to be what she is not, nor does she expect others to conform to her vision. Instead, she meets people where they are, celebrating their individuality while fostering a shared sense of belonging. This balance of independence and unity is what makes her ability to connect so powerful. The rarest woman in the world also weaves connection to the larger world around her. She sees the intricate web of life, how each action, thought, and intention ripples outward to affect the whole. Her awareness of this interconnectedness shapes how she moves through life, inspiring others to see their own place in the grand tapestry. Whether through small acts of kindness, moments of shared laughter, or the quiet strength of her presence, she brings people closer to each other and to themselves. Through her gift of connection, she creates communities of trust and understanding. Her presence reminds us of what it means to be human, to love, to share, and to grow together. She is a living example of how the bonds we weave can uplift and transform, making her not only rare but a vital force in the world. The rarest woman in the world embodies a beautiful and transformative balance between wisdom and play, a combination that might seem like an unlikely pairing at first. But in her, these two qualities exist not as opposites, but as complementary forces that create something far more powerful than either could alone. She has learned that wisdom is not the absence of joy, and play is not the absence of depth. Instead, she has mastered the alchemy of blending them together in a way that enriches not only her own life, but the lives of everyone fortunate enough to cross her path. Her wisdom is deep and rooted in experience. She has walked through life with her eyes open, embracing the lessons that come with both triumph and failure. Her wisdom is not born of books or teachings alone, it is the wisdom of lived moments of reflection and of growth. She knows that life is neither predictable nor always fair, and yet she approaches it with a grace that comes from understanding its inherent unpredictability. Her wisdom does not demand control but flows with life's rhythms, learning from each twist and turn without rigid attachment to any one outcome. Yet in her wisdom there is also a spark of playfulness, a lightness that allows her to approach the world with curiosity rather than certainty. She does not take herself too seriously. She has learned that while it is important to be grounded and thoughtful, it is equally important to play, to be free, to laugh at life's absurdities. Her ability to find joy in the simplest of things, the way the sunlight falls across a room, the sound of rain on leaves, the joy of a spontaneous dance or a shared joke reminds those around her that life is meant to be experienced, not just understood. This combination of wisdom and play creates an alchemy that is magnetic. She brings a sense of wonder to even the most serious situations, offering fresh perspectives and solutions that others might miss. Where others might see challenges or problems, she sees opportunities for growth, learning, and even laughter. Her wisdom allows her to navigate life's complexities with a calm and collected demeanor, while her playful spirit infuses everything she does with a sense of joy and possibility. She knows that the world is not just a place to be solved, but a place to be experienced, and she encourages others to find the beauty and playfulness in it too. Her playful nature also allows her to connect with others in ways that are open and unguarded. She does not stand on the sidelines of life. Observing from a distance, she participates, jumps in, and invites others to join her in the dance. She is not afraid to make mistakes, to be imperfect, or to laugh at herself. This creates an atmosphere of freedom, where others feel safe to be themselves, to explore, and to be open to new possibilities. The alchemy of wisdom and play is what makes her not just rare, but magnetic. She has learned that these two qualities, when harmonized, create a life of depth, joy, and connection. Through her, we are reminded that life does not have to be all seriousness or all levity, it can be both. And it is in this balance that the rarest woman in the world finds her true magic.